All right, and we're back. Constructivism considers teachers to be learning facilitators rather than reservoirs of knowledge, and emphasizes knowledge control and construction on the part of the student. The aim in constructivist learning is that the student actively constructs their knowledge via exercises that test and try out new conceptual understanding in various applied circumstances. When it comes to creating with ICT, the competency required refers to students learning to generate ideas, plans, processes, and products to create solutions to challenges or learning area tasks. So as you can see, the processes of active construction and ICT creation look the same in a learning environment, and each require the same skills to be learned and exercised. Chan explains the need for students to construct and create beautifully. He states that knowledge acquisition is a process of design that is facilitated when learners are actively engaged in designing knowledge, and people who learn most from instructional materials are designers, not the learners for whom they are designed. Students should therefore become designers rather than just learners, and knowledge constructors rather than just knowledge users. In his TED Talk as well, Yong Zhao agreed with this view, saying that students need to be entrepreneurs in our 21st century world. They need to be able to respond to opportunities with creative ability, and they need to construct solutions. It's been proven that ICT can raise educational quality and therefore connect learning to real life situations. Exactly what Zhao suggested that we use IT and learning to achieve. So what are we waiting for? How would we put the principles of constructivist theory and ICT creation into practice to help students provide solutions and solve problems? One idea is to get them creating podcasts. Students should spend time over several lessons planning, researching, and constructing a short podcast on a topic from the syllabus, piece by piece. Instead of having the same information fed to them and receiving it passively, students would assertively discover and build this information for themselves. This is where constructivist learning theory comes in handy. Students would work in groups to create this podcast and would make use of online information sources and sound editing software like Audacity, which is free and a very, very easy tool for teachers and their students to master. By doing this, they would develop competency in creating with ICT. Incidentally, this kind of activity would also feed well into behaviorism learning theory, as students would be constantly rewarded with a shareable final product that they have constructed that they can be proud of, and they would therefore be likely to continue creating with ICT going forward. So the more we get students to create and construct information and provide their own solutions, the more likely they are to appreciate what they've been able to achieve and want to keep doing it. Okay, so our next slide is based on communication and connection. Communication and connection refer to the ICT capability of communicating with ICT, and the learning theories of connectivism and social learning theory, both of which mainly refer to connections between people and how students learn from one another. Communicating with ICT as a capability that most of you will have come across before basically means students using ICT to communicate and share ideas and information and to collaboratively construct knowledge. To develop this competency, students collaborate, share, and exchange information and resources. Connectivism, which is here, and social learning theory follow easily in the footsteps of this ICT competency. They dictate that students learn better when they learn together. In other words, when students are given opportunities for collaborative learning, they can connect to and support one another in their schooling. According to Say, working on a project or problem with other people allows for deeper levels of reasoning, new perspectives, shared responsibilities, and greater motivation to remain focused on the task. Say also states that teachers, that's us, need to consider collaboration as a viable method of creating individual meaning. We need to see it as beneficial to acquiring specific knowledge for our students. It's easy to see how connectivism, social learning theory, and communicating with ICT might come together in practice. Apps like Edmodo and online software like Google Drive are some examples of this kind of collaborative knowledge construction, but the best practical demonstration of these two theories and communicating with ICT is the group construction of a wiki, something I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. This kind of activity is an effective teaching and learning strategy and involves a group of students organizing, researching, and contributing to an online resource. On a particular topic, the students will work together to produce this project. Teachers can involve a wiki in their classroom for their students by teaching their students how to set up this kind of group project. The way that you could put this kind of thing into practice is via an assessment, wherein student groups work on the specific content area they've been allocated. There would be a due date for the wiki, and each student would be equally responsible for choosing, editing, and writing each topic section. The students could use their own devices. They could use these even on the go. They could also use school technology over a period of several lessons to collaborate on and complete this topic. A wiki is extremely flexible, and that is very important because today's students lead digitally focused, very flexible lives in terms of where they get their information. So allowing assessments to be flexible is very important. Through a wiki, students are able to build new and modify existing knowledge structures by reflecting on what is known and what needs to be. And a wiki is based on the idea that conversation is an essential part of the meaning-making process. Students can see their friends and teammates write on the wiki and can get a better understanding of how to do it themselves. Add to this that a wiki's versioning capability can show the evolution of thought processes as students interact with the site, its contents, and each other. And you have a perfect practical mix of these two learning theories and communicating with ICT as a capability. So from all of this, we can see that ICT capabilities and learning theories are two things that absolutely need to be paired together in a learning environment by today's teachers if we want to adequately prepare our students to lead remarkable lives in the 21st century. in this case, 2 is definitely better than 1. But don't take it from me. Let me conclude with the immortal words of 1980s hip-hop duo Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. It takes 2 to make a thing go right. It takes 2 to make it out of sight. Thank you. Thank you.